Why selling your house during the holidays can be a good idea. I'm Seth with Reference Real Estate, and I wanted to just hit you with a couple quick facts about selling during the holidays, but also selling in a presidential election year cycle. We all know that the fourth quarter of real estate is often slower, especially up here in the Northeast when things start to slow down, the weather starts to change. Additionally, the year when presidents get elected, the election year, we have a significant slowdown in residential real estate transactions. A lot of people are holding off. There's a lot of political unrest going on. And so for that reason, we see people kind of take the back seat and maybe be less aggressive on the buy side, right? So for the stuff that is on the market, we are seeing a little bit of a slower activity right now, which is very normal. Now, why is maybe leaving your house on the market a good idea? First off, people come back to town and they do what I do when I travel to different areas is I look at real estate on the old iPhone, right? And kind of check out what prices. You're not going to be seen if you're not on the market. In a normal market, when we have a little bit more inventory, like we have right now for the first time in about 5 years, still really a seller's market on the single family side, but on condos and even some multifamily markets, we're starting to see this balance out a little bit. So when you're in a normal market, we expect things to take 4 or 5 months to sell sometimes. And often they're not selling at the open house, right? People are busy this time of year. They have birthday parties, they have holiday parties, they have get-togethers, especially into the weekend. And of course, the dreaded work holiday party, which everyone will be invited to 300 of. So when you have less folks looking during the weekend, that means the private showing is super, super important. So we're seeing some of the deals get done during the week, during the daytime, which is why having a full-time agent is super important. So being on the market during the holidays, it gets your house seen digitally. They're probably not coming to the open house anyway on the weekend, so there's not too much of a reason to continue to host those every single week. And the serious showings get done during the week. Now, what does that mean from a buy side? Well, first off, a little bit of a better time potentially to get a deal because there's a little bit less competition. But also for the sellers out there, the buyers who are shopping right now are really, really serious. They're trying to get settled either before the holidays or they're often willing to give the seller a delayed closing until January or even potentially February post-holidays because who really wants to move during the holidays anyhow? So we do see a huge slowdown in the market in this presidential election year. We see more serious buyers, but definitely less buyers. And so the good news is if your home is on the market and you're thinking about taking a pause, it's okay to temporarily pull that this time of year. You also expect to see some significant upside of traffic being butts in the door, clicks on the property as we get closer to the spring, being the January and February market. So the lowest amount of transactions happens in the Q4 of a presidential election year in a 4-year cycle. And what does that mean? That means there's a ton of pent-up demand, and we see some of the most transactions happen in what will be Q1 of 2025. So buyers out there, keep shopping, stay a serious buyer, lock in that pre-approval, even though the rates are a little bit higher. We still expect them to come down post-holiday, post-political unrest as things start to settle out. And then January, February, March, April, we do expect transactions to be significantly up. I think you have to remember out there, if you're a buyer or a seller right now, we are at like a 30-year low of transaction volumes. That means there's just not a lot of real estate trades happening. There's not a lot of buildings, properties, single families, condos being sold. So that's definitely due to inventory, which again is up, was up to about 11,000 properties on the market here in Massachusetts. This time last year it was only about 3,500. Now sitting somewhere around 9,000, and we expect that to continue to dwindle here as we get into the winter doldrums and the holiday doldrums. And then I expect inventory to be snatched up in the spring pretty quickly. So buyers stay in the market, sellers have a good conversation with your agent about whether to keep the property on or off market or start to plan for a relaunch potentially in the spring market. And spring could be January 15th, right? It's just when it's nice out and there's buyers out. So hopefully that's super helpful. If you have any questions about the holiday market, buying in the Boston area, or just real estate in general, hit us up.